Anger has an interesting reputation. On the one hand, we're told to calm anger and replace it with more positive thinking, but another school of thought says that bottling it up is unhealthy, that we need to get it out of our system. At the same time, we're warned that expressing anger can damage relationships, cloud judgment, and leave us feeling worse than before. So, which is it? Is it healthier to vent our fury or to calm down? The idea that anger needs to be vented like pressure from a boiler is deeply ingrained in popular culture. Shout into a pillow, smash a tennis ball against a wall, say exactly what you feel. It sounds intuitive, but research consistently shows that venting anger often makes anger stronger, not weaker. When we vent, especially in a heated way, we rehearse the story of what went wrong. We replay the injustice. We reinforce the sense that we were wronged. The brain doesn't experience this as release. It experiences it as retraining. In one classic line of research, people who were encouraged to express anger aggressively ended up feeling more angry and more hostile afterwards than those who didn't. The emotional circuit stayed switched on. In other words, venting doesn't drain anger. It feeds it. If venting doesn't work, why does it feel so satisfying in the moment? Because anger activates the body. Heart rate rises, muscles tense, adrenaline surges. Expressing anger can briefly match that energy, creating a sense of relief or validation. But this is short-lived. The nervous system doesn't settle. It escalates. You may feel justified, but not calmer. Right, but not regulated. This is why people often say, "I just needed to get it off my chest," yet still feel agitated long afterwards. At the other extreme, suppressing anger, pretending it isn't there, has its own problems. Unacknowledged anger doesn't disappear. It leaks out as sarcasm, withdrawal, passive aggression, headaches, tension, or sudden emotional blow-ups that seem disproportionate to the situation. Chronic suppression is linked to stress-related symptoms and lower emotional well-being. The body keeps score even when the mouth stays quiet. So the choice isn't between exploding or swallowing it whole. There's a third option, one that actually works. Regulation beats venting. The most effective approach isn't venting anger, but regulating it. Regulation means noticing anger without acting it out, calming the body before engaging the mind, choosing when, how, and whether to express it. This isn't about being nice or avoiding conflict. It's about timing and clarity. When the nervous system is flooded, the rational parts of the brain go offline. Trying to talk it out while emotionally hijacked is like negotiating during an alarm siren. Calming down first restores access to perspective, empathy, and problem-solving. Calming down isn't about forcing positivity or suppressing emotion. It's about physiological downshifting. Some of the most effective strategies are surprisingly simple. Slowing the breath, longer exhales activate the body's calming response. Movement, walking, stretching, or gentle physical activity helps metabolize stress hormones. Time separation, even 20-30 minutes can significantly reduce emotional intensity. Changing sensory input, cold water on the face, fresh air, or a change of environment can interrupt anger loops. These approaches work because they target the body first. Once the body settles, the emotion follows. This doesn't mean anger should never be expressed. Anger contains information. It signals boundary violations, unmet needs, or values being crossed. The key is how and when it's expressed. Constructive expression happens after the emotional surge has passed, with a focus on the issue, not the attack and language that describes impact, not blame. For example, when that happened, I felt dismissed. I need us to handle that differently. I was angry earlier. I've had time to think, and here's what matters to me. This kind of expression doesn't escalate conflict. It clarifies it. The question to ask yourself, instead of asking, "Should I vent or calm down?" ask this: will expressing this right now reduce the problem or reinforce the emotion? If the answer is reinforce, pause. Regulate first. Expression can wait. Anger is not an emergency. It feels urgent, but it rarely is. The bottom line: venting anger may feel relieving, but usually intensifies it. Suppressing anger creates long-term emotional and physical costs. Calming the nervous system first leads to clearer thinking and better outcomes. Expressing anger works best when it's deliberate, not reactive. Anger isn't something to discharge or deny. It's something to understand, regulate, and use wisely. It's a form of emotional intelligence.